Hi YouTube, my name is Iwan Sahara and I want to share 7 tips when you are traveling, because usually you don't have really much time to do it. So I just share you not only 7, but I think it's the easiest way how to do it. So the first one, when we choose place, usually mostly in Indonesia also, we like to go to the mountain or beach, beach, lagoon. Then many famous lagoon in Bali. Bali usually Danau Batur or Kintamani or Danau Toba or Toba Lake usually, and some of the famous volcano is Bromo volcano. And probably that is the one of the top spot in Southeast Asia. So mostly, actually, some of the place even they already got the place to shoot. It's just so easy. Except like you can just stand there with 200 people with holding the camera during sunset or during sunrise, and then okay, everybody take shoot, and then we got the same composition and the same pictures even. But if you are not but I think it's good for the beginner, to do it, because so you know the feeling when you wait. You have to be patient, and then you have to see the light keep changing and the color and everything. The first one probably symmetrical. I mean, the left and the right will be, or the position or the subject will be in the middle. If you take Borobudur temple, everything symmetries, or many Indonesian temple, usually symmetries, left and right, it's about the same thing. But when I went to Belitung, this is one is the spot near the beach. They got the big rocks near the beach. When I just waited until that guy, the fisherman, just passing in the middle, and after that I take the shoot. So the left and the right will be about the balance, about the same. So symmetrical or still can be used for composition. The second is frame. Frame is the easiest way. Everybody keep telling okay, use frame and everything. So when I went to the tower and then see in the outside the window the Belitung, it look nice even. So I just take the pictures from with not with the camera, even with my smartphone. So I got that pictures, nice frame, white, and then blue sky in the back. But in the other one is I took I think it's not a framing. It look like you build in the foreground is so many big trees. Also in Bromo, big trees, and at night. So the tour guide drive me there, and I came down and took my my tripod, and then after that I set my camera on 1 second with wide angle, and I took. So the foreground, in the foreground I put I try to look the big trees in the front. So usually it looks like a nice frame. You should try to get the big trees, but don't and also don't use speed too slow, something like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, because the star will get many lines or straight lines. So it's not will be sometimes probably interesting, but sometimes it's not interesting. So after that, the third one is leading lines. Sometimes you can do it very simple one, something like, oh, they got big trees falling down, and after that so the big trees become I took it, so the leading lines from the big trees is quite obvious. Number 4 is rule of the thirds. Rule of the thirds is the best way if you do it in near the beach or lake or big lake, but probably the beach is even better. It's easier. I waited for the two kids keep running, playing for about nearly 1 hour. I just kept taking picture. I think this one is the best one. Uh, I waited until the guy play foam, big foam, and the two boy playing the foam, and then one standing nearly 1/3 of the from the left or from my right or from my left. So they got 1/3 of the pictures, rule of the thirds. And also you have to be concerned about the head of the horizon line. Can be not go to the middle of the picture, not also go to the 1/3 of the pictures, not to 1/3 or 2/3 of the pictures, or 1/3 of picture from the top. It's better if between the middle and the 1/3 pictures, or also the middles and in 1/3 of picture, or even very low, below the 1/3 of the picture. So that is the rule of the thirds. And the other thing is diagonal. And then I took it with 10 to 20 milli wide angle lens. I run down from the mountain, go to, and then I just hold the lens like that. I didn't even see, so I keep taking so many pictures, but I didn't see I just set 10 millis, and here probably 11, 16 or 22, and I just keep taking picture because I already doing it probably many times, so I just already got the feeling. That's quite close, about only 1 feet or 2 feet or probably 1 meter, below 1 meter. Yeah. So that is the diagonal, and the other one is odd. Odd is if you take odd number, 3, 5 people is easier. Sometimes you make a family portrait. Okay, I stand here and my wife stand here, and then the face, what my son will be there, the face. So will be make triangle or something like that, or so 3 or 5 probably is easier. If you take 4 people, will be more difficult, because something like you sit there, one over there and one here, and sometimes they got empty space. 5 people will be okay. So it depends. Usually odd number is easier than even number. And the last one is proportion. Proportion is when, here about the Bromo again. I took the pictures. I waited until one of the horse coming down in the middle. So the horse is bigger, and the other horse is getting smaller. The composition, and they got sun. So the composition will be interesting, yeah. That is the proportion. The sun looks bigger in the morning. So if you, but it's not. The proportion still normal. It's not like force perspective. Force perspective, you hold your hand, something like you hold your hand. You use a very wide angle, like 10 millimeters, and then you start taking from here. So your hand will be big, will be giant, and the other on the back will be pushing and will be go further away and getting very small and small, and because you use very wide angle, so the proportion will be not normal. They call it force perspective, but this one is not force perspective. It's just only playing the proportion, playing the proportion. Yeah, I think that is my 7 tips. If you before you go to the trip, or before you go to the